Hello, 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 sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, come on in, come on in and settle in. I'm going to be talking about a top skill for successful. I'm just checking that my mic is on. Speaking of top skills, hang on a second. Yes, it is. Yay. Sometimes I forget to turn it on. But come on in. We're going to talk about a top skill for successful sellers. And this is a skill that works whether you are new to eBay or more experienced. And in case you're thinking, if you're new to eBay, well, Kathy, how am I a successful seller? You are. You've got a listing up. You are a successful seller. You got a sale. You packed it. You shipped it. You are a successful seller. Being a successful seller is not about a dollar amount. It is about how you run your eBay selling. And you might think to yourself, well, Kathy, I'm a part-time seller. That's fine. Being a successful seller is not about the size of your business. It is not about whether you are part-time. It's not about whether you're full-time, because you could be full-time and not be successful. That's another video. It's how you run your business. It's also, are you making money as a seller, right? Is this a profitable business? And I've got a top tip for you that when I talk with successful sellers, and again, this is sellers of all sizes. So I'm going to date this. This is September 26, 2022. And last week was eBay Open. And as part of eBay Open, on the Friday of eBay Open, which was September 23rd, there were 3 live events. One was here in New York, one was in Austin, Texas, and one was in Los Angeles. And I was very blessed to be at the New York one. And what was great about that was to talk to a lot of different sellers, some new that were just starting selling on eBay, and some extremely experienced sellers that have been selling on eBay for a long time in all different kinds of categories. And they all shared a similar successful skill that I will share with you. And what got me thinking about this was my sister was recently visiting, and we went to a spy museum, and I got a really good deal, online deal for the spy museum, and bought my tickets that way. And I made a mistake when I purchased the tickets, and I bought 4 tickets instead of 2 tickets because we only needed 2. And I was having a bit of a runaround with the website to get a refund for the 2 tickets that I didn't mean to buy. I hadn't been on this site for a while, and I don't know how it happened, but anyway, it happened. Anyway, I was perseverant and polite and got my refund. Yay. But the way I got a refund was I got a credit. It was on Groupon. I got a credit. So I was like, okay, now I have this credit. What am I going to go buy? And I bought a manicure pedicure. And it was to a salon that I went to a long time ago, but I haven't been to for a while. So I made an appointment, and I went this morning. And the reason I don't go to the salon, it's very nice. It's in an opposite direction. So where I am, my post office is north of me. So I typically do services and errands to and from the post office. So if I'm going to get a manicure pedicure, I do it north of me. This salon is south of me. And there really isn't any. The post office that is south of me I don't like. They're not good. They lose packages, and they don't have a mind to serve. So I don't use them. So anyway, but I had this credit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the salon, and I'm going to use up my credit at the salon. And I went. So I had to reconfigure my route. I ran different errands. I also kept an eye out for stores that might have things for sale. But it made me change my plans, and it made me change my normal routine. And I bring this up. I had to pivot because I wanted to use the credit and make different choices. And also, when I went to the salon, by the way, I had a lovely manicure pedicure. I'm going to go back. I'm going to now periodically go south from me and reconfigure my route and enjoy some different things I discovered on my way there. But what I want to point out is there's times as a seller where things happen. Okay. I'm thinking for new sellers, this happened to me, and it happens to experienced sellers too. People will buy more than one item. Yay, right? It's like, yay, multiple sale. But what happens is, so let's say it's books, because they're pretty big. or even clothing. Okay, so they buy, let's say, a coat and a pair of boots, so it's pretty big. And when I listed the coat or I listed the pair of boots, I had a box for it. I'm like, okay, this boots, this coat will fit in whatever, let's say medium flat rate box. And then I sell a bunch and it's more than the medium flat rate box. It's bigger, right? Or it's books and it's bigger than the boxes I have on hand, or it's bigger than the poly mailers I have on hand. What do? Now, one thing you learn as a seller is you can do what's called Frankenbox. So as long as it's not the flat rate priority boxes, so medium flat rate, it needs to stay in that. You can't add on to the medium flat rate box and have it go medium flat rate. But if it's a regular priority box that's not regional and it's not flat rate, you can add them together. I personally don't. I have enough other boxes around that I can put them together, even if I'm shipping them priority. But what also can happen if you don't want to, what's called Frankenbox, which is put a couple boxes together. This actually happened to me early on. One good thing about New York is there's a lot of free cycle areas. Most of the buildings in my area within like that 10 blocks radius have a free cycle or recycling area that's pretty accessible. Like I don't have to walk through a courtyard or anything. It's to the side of the building or to the front of the building. And you'll see the boxes there. And people put their boxes there. So they put their Amazon boxes there and their Walmart boxes there. It's sort of fun to see where everybody's shopping. Their Chewy boxes there and their eBay boxes there. And I've done this several times. All of a sudden I needed a bigger box. I didn't want a Frankenbox. I'll just walk my block when it's not raining or snowing, right? If it's bad weather, then maybe we better Frankenbox. And I find a box. I always look for clean and nice, right? You don't want to be shipping in a box that has stains or dirty. It's like, no, look for clean, nice boxes. There's always plenty. And again, for your area, there might be a recycling area. If you're at an office or you have friends that are in an office or loved ones or anybody that has an office, oftentimes they will gather shipping supplies for you and hold them. Doctors' offices get shipping supplies. Medical offices get shipping supplies and often lots of air pillows. But at least here in New York, I can just walk like 2 blocks and I'm going to find pretty much any box I need. So that's something where all of a sudden you got to pivot. All of a sudden you got to change, right? It's 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm packing my shipping and I'm like, I need a box. So Frankenbox, which is putting the boxes together, but again, not your flat rate or regular boxes, or just go find the box. The other thing, if you don't know this, by the way, do I have them? Yeah, I've got eBay mailers here. Let's say you need a bigger poly mailer. This is for my newer sellers and maybe my more experienced sellers have never tried this. And again, I sell a bunch of things and I want to ship it in a poly mailer. And the only size I have, these are lovely little eBay poly mailers, is the smaller size. And I want a bigger size and I don't have any on hand. And I don't want to run out to my local office supply store and get it. And it needs to go out today, which means I can't be ordering it online to get it here in a couple of days. You can put mailers together. And the way you do it is just sort of like the Frankenbox. You just slice one size of the mailer, the other size, and you can tape them together and just make a bigger mailer. Okay. I've done that a couple of times on things, and you can do it with polys and with the padded. So consider that too, again, because this isn't flat rate. This is a regular mailer. I'm doing it by the weight. So you can cut it and do it that way. The other thing about pivoting and changing is, so again, do that. And the other thing is that as eBay is negotiating rates for us with UPS, with FedEx, if you always use USPS, take a look. What are the UPS rates? Are they less? What are the FedEx rates? Are they less? Is there a pickup point? Years ago, it was a lot harder to do UPS and FedEx. It was very limited. I remember here in New York, very limited, like on FedEx was really tough where to drop off. And now that's really changed. There's a lot of stores that do it. There's a lot of pickup places. So don't overlook that when you're doing shipping, particularly on heavier items. Keep an eye out on the different options that eBay has. Regional rates, if you've never checked them out, and it's an easy one to do. Just go on the USPS website. It's free. Order the regional rate boxes. The regional A is one of my favorite ones. I find a lot of times it's less money to ship regional A if it's a state that's within like 1 or 2 states of me. So, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut is typically pretty good. The regional boxes, there's regional A and B. They come in two configurations. There's ones that's sort of boxy, and there's one that's sort of longer and boxy, but it's thinner. And I suggest getting both, and then you can see which one works. Again, because the great thing with eBay, when you're going to ship, because you charge the customer for priority because it's calculated shipping, or you're doing free shipping and the free shipping is priority, is you go to ship. And let me tell you something, you know, even if you're only saving 20 cents, because sometimes people will say to me, oh, it's only 20 cents. Let me tell you, so let's say it's 20 cents, and we're going to go low on this. Let's say 2 packages a day, you save 20 cents on each. That's 40 cents a day, right? 40 cents a day, and maybe a week I'm saving $1.60, $1.80. Okay, so let's just say $1.60. Okay, so $1.60 times 4, and then $1.60 times 52, and it adds up. So don't poo-poo saving 20 cents on shipping, or 30 cents on shipping, or 50 cents on shipping. One of my favorites now is the Priority Mail flat rate small box. It looks like, I'm going to date myself, it looks like the size of a VHS tape, to give you an idea of what it looks. Well, you will be surprised what you can fit into a small flat rate Priority Mail box. Again, I'm dating this September 26, 2022. When I go to print my shipping through eBay shipping, it is $8.01. And again, obviously there's going to be holiday kickups on a lot of stuff coming up. So I'm just dating my thing. The Priority Flat Mail, if I remember correctly, last time I looked, was $8.20. So again, that doesn't sound like a lot, but wait a minute, I'm saving 19 cents, rolled it up to 20. And again, maybe I'm only doing that a couple of times a day. Again, the 40 cents, but it adds up. I'll save, somebody hands you $50, I'll take it. If I save $50 a year, I'll take it. That's a lot of eBay shipping supplies. That's inventory. That's part of my store subscription fees, okay, for the year, okay? So again, don't poo-poo saving 20 cents, 30 cents. It adds up. So if you're not using the regional rate, if you haven't looked at a small flat rate box, if you haven't looked at the 2 sizes of regional, like you might just have seen one size of the regional A or B, they're free shipping supplies. They do need to be used as intended, and they're on the USPS site. They're worth having in your home, whether you're a newer seller or more experienced seller. Because again, you might right now be selling all very small things, right? Especially for my soup to nuts sellers. And then all of a sudden you score some really big things, is to start to get experience with the different size mailers and things that are available to you. And again, yay for all these promotional tools, particularly for my eBay store owners that are encouraging people to buy more than one thing with us. And again, what happens sometimes is all of a sudden that thing that I thought was going to fit in a poly mailer, now I need a box for, or I need a bigger poly mailer. So don't forget about all of those things, whether you're a new seller or a more experienced seller, is to have shipping supplies on hand for the fourth quarter that you may not use all the time. Remember, I mean, you order the boxes. If you don't use them, or you don't need the 10, you only need maybe half a dozen on hand, is you can always drop the extras at your local post office. But particularly for my new sellers, it's awfully nice when you click that drop down and you see that you'll save 20 cents or more by using a regional, by using this or that, or by using a poly mailer instead of a padded mailer, and the item is still fine and good, but you find if you can drop it down an ounce, you just saved 50 cents, 60 cents. This is even for items under 16 ounces. Watch those jumps. Some of the ounce jumps are quite significant, and it's perfectly fine in a poly rather than a padded. Okay, or a smaller padded mailer, you go, oh, well, it's only saving me half an ounce or an ounce, but it can make a big difference with the shipping. And the calculator is a big help on that, because you can put in 10 ounces, 11 ounces, 8 ounces, and see where it jumps. But remember, it is always best to pack so that the item is safe. I would rather pay a little more on the shipping, like especially when things are fragile. I'm going to be double boxing and putting lots of wonderful air pillows and things inside of it to keep it safe. Always, always, always err on the side of caution, particularly with your more fragile items, because you want them to arrive in good shape. And believe it or not, when we mail, this would be nice, wouldn't it? You know, the post office doesn't go, oh, here comes Kathy's very fragile little china dish. I'm just going to walk her little padded mailer over to the corner and put it very comfortably on the little conveyor belt. No, I was told years ago, always pack so that you can drop something 4 to 6 feet. And I mean, drop. I remember this is, gosh, years ago when I was at the post office. And I forget what it was. Thankfully, it wasn't something terribly fragile. I think it was a bunch of clothes in a box. I literally, so and I was standing and getting it scanned with a postal person at the register. And I remember I watched them. They took the box, they turned around, and there's like bins like maybe 4 or 5 feet behind them. Okay. And rather than walk the 3 feet over to the bin, it looks like a big hamper. They took my box and threw it across the room into the bin. And I remember thinking, oh, it did arrive in shape and everything. That taught me, pack everything. So if a postal person takes it and throws it across the room, and it will happen, they take it, they throw it into the truck, they take it and throw it wherever, that your item still is fine. For my new sellers and my more experienced sellers, there's a lot of changes happening. There will certainly be changes in the postal rates typically going into the holidays, but there's always challenges with supply chain. There's changes on eBay. There's always changes. There can be changes in our sourcing. Again, truly, we just don't know. It's one thing you learn as a seller. There's a lot we just don't know, but we always do our best. And we know if we think it through and just sort of breathe, we will get through it. Thankfully, more and more people are shopping online, and that's great for us as eBay sellers. But to help people with the fourth quarter, I have put together a special class. It's on my website, ilovetobeselling.com, the sign up. It is my eBay. Hang on just a second. I can't do like 3 things at once. It is my eBay Holiday Sales Accelerator Masterclass. And if you go over, you will see the sign up. It's completely free. It's going to be October 3rd. It is at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's for an hour. It is taped. I'm live though, so please come join me live. But it will be taped, and it will be available in a special pop-up Facebook group for everybody for a few days. So, because I realize there's a lot of time zones. There's time zones in the United States. I have people tuning in from Canada. I have people that join me from UK and from Australia and New Zealand. Thank you, all my global friends. So sign up. You'll get a worksheet to prepare you for the masterclass. You'll get access to the special pop-up group. Again, it's eBay Holiday Sales Accelerator Masterclass. And if you don't know, my background is retail. I worked retail here in New York City for well over 25 years, and I was on QVC for over 6 years as a product presenter. So I know retail. I know a lot about how stores prepare. I know how stores do promotions. I know I take a lot of classes and a lot of workshops, and have the honor of meeting and working with a lot of eBay teams about sales, about promotions, about what are shoppers looking for, what are eBay buyers looking for, what things work and work right now. Some things worked a couple of years ago and they don't work so well right now, to get you shoppers, because that's what you want. I work with sellers of all sizes. I also work with sellers that sell a lot of different things, everything from motorcycle parts to home and garden to kids' toys to plush to puzzles to shoes to jewelry. So I have a very, very broad experience and knowledge of, like, certain things I know work really well with clothing, and other things I know work better like in home and garden, and other things work better if you're doing jewelry. So sign up. It's free. eBay Holiday Sales Accelerator Masterclass, October 3rd. And some ideas for different things for when you run into snags, because I do work with a lot of sellers. And oftentimes people come to me, because they've run into a snag, because they have a situation with their account. And let me give you lots of super tips to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that can happen at the holidays, so that you don't you don't have to deal with that. You can deal with other things, but it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. It is my gift. It is completely free. So please hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and sign up for eBay Holiday Sales Accelerator Masterclass. You will love it. We already have over 50 people in the group. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to learn so much. So come. I'd love to have you join me. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling.